Modern militaries don't make sense anymore. Well, not as we know them. Let me explain. Gone are the pilots and their large fighter aircraft, and in their place are specialized systems that operate without rest and are far cheaper. And also gone are the dinosaur defense contractors who take billions of dollars to produce a single machine that's out of date and expensive to operate. The future belongs to autonomous defense systems that have individual solutions for each threat, and they're produced by shiny tech companies that innovate and move far faster than any Congress program. Solutions like stealth jets that are invisible to radar, swarming drones that find their own targets, and even loitering weapons that can fly over 24 hours without a break. This is the future of defense, and how in the last 5 years, UAE-based technology group Edge has changed the game. Now, I can hear a lot of you in the comments going, what do you mean that modern militaries don't make sense anymore? How does an aircraft carrier turning up at your door no longer a viable option? Well, in the words of the chairman of the Edge Group, it's simple economics.
If you're dealing with a heavy swarm of drones that are cheap, yes, you might have a missile that costs you $500,000 that you try to shoot it. How many missiles can you keep shooting at a drone that costs $5,000? Not a lot. So you need a very different set of defenses to deal with that kind of a threat.
We can even take this to the extreme. The cost of a F-22 Raptor is around $150 million per jet, but you also need the pilot, supporting staff and logistics, and you can't risk just flying it without backup. But if a country can deploy a drone aircraft to combat it for less than the price of all that, which is obviously very possible, then it's a simple war of attrition. But let's go more into that economy of scale. The most expensive part of any military operation is arguably said personnel. Pilots are highly trained and can take decades to get the necessary skills to go toe-to-toe with their rivals and to defend successfully their country's airspace. Simply put, you don't want to lose pilots. Drone aircraft, thus, are the way to go. No pilots, no problem. And lastly, we've seen that wars in the last 5 years have changed completely.
One thing that is very obvious that's been happening for a while is the non-traditional weapons. Meaning in the past, if there are wars between certain countries of a certain size, you'll have large ballistic missiles and you'll have large planes. Now there are small UAVs doing a lot of damage. Now there are hobbyist UAVs that are just dropping grenade bombs to cause a lot of damage. They might not be very accurate products, but they still cause damage. Where these air defense were not really built for them. This is a very different war than wars that happened 10 years ago.
So if it's not battleships and fighter jets, then what is the future of defense? It's all about systems. For example, Edge Group recently revealed their new stealth platform, the Janai or Desert Ghost, which is more cutting edge than any other drones in operation and whose specifications are top secret. Technology that was once held in Area 51 is now available where needed in the world without politics getting in the way. And speaking of aircraft, for air-to-ground capability, we also have the Reach series. This aircraft is a fixed-wing drone that can carry a payload of up to 120 kilograms. It can fly to an altitude of 19,000 feet at a cruising speed of 80 knots up to a communications range of 200 kilometers, although you can put in satellite communications to have an unlimited range. With its reusable functionality and 24 hours endurance, it can loiter in the air until it's needed. But then of course we have logistics like the Air Truck, a fully remote controlled drone helicopter that can carry up to 500 kilograms of a speed of 140 kilometers per hour. It has a surface ceiling of 3,000 meters and a range of 360 kilometers, meaning that its supply range is massively impressive compared to the operations that would normally require a proper helicopter. It can even be pre-programmed to follow a set course with troops in the field requesting resupply without having to engage air support. But these aircraft are just on theme for the rise of the new two types of warfare that we're seeing in this modern age: loitering ammunitions and swarming drones. In the past, we've seen an aircraft fly off the border of a nation being refueled by a tanker and waiting for its order to enter into action. This can now be done by a drone system that never needs to sleep or be replaced for even up to 24 hours.
Loitering ammunition, we're definitely in the top 2, top 3 largest players in loitering ammunition globally in size.
The second system is AI swarming technology. Because these drones are significantly cheaper than normal aircraft, there is the ability to deploy them in a big way and let them find their own targets, thanks to intelligence operations. And I mean BIG.
There are 32 drones on a truck container that can all be launched within 60 seconds.
Carrying a payload of up to 2 kilograms, these ground-launched drones can reach a maximum altitude of 3,000 feet and are suitable for recon and offensive missions, operating with an endurance of up to 30 minutes. Which is just totally insane. And there's a huge advantage to this type of technology development pathway, and that's speed. Instead of seeing the likes of Boeing and Lockheed, bloated defense contractors who take decades to produce a new type of machine, we're now seeing tech companies entering the space and able to be much more versatile and flexible.
We don't see ourselves as a defense contractor. We are an advanced technology company that happens to be in the defense sector, which means the DNA is about agility, speed, being very proactive and very pragmatic in how we really build our products. What we can get off the shelf, let's get off the shelf. What we need to customize, let's customize. And I think that is what's driving how fast we're really building our products and how agile we're building our products. That's, I think, where we are much more agile than maybe many of the dinosaur large conglomerates in that regard.
They can move faster and fill the defense gaps in a countries better than the dinosaurs of the past, meaning it can take them less than 12 months to go from mock-up to a deployable solution on the battlefield, which is actually what Edge did with the Reach.
Like when we announced Reach S, 12 months, 18 months ago, it was a plastic mock-up sitting on a shop floor, and people said, yeah, everyone can create a mock-up. Today, that plane is already dropping weapons, doing full flight tests, and actually going to deliver to client next year. We already have a 100 plane order announced yesterday from the client. It's a significant order.
Now, I know your heads are spinning at this coming of the age of technology, but I assure you there are some serious ramifications that still need to be considered. Now, there are some interesting issues with the way that this technology is going, and the main one is the lack of a pilot, or rather a man in the middle. Not just the risk of being hacked, but also making these drones intelligent.
Cybersecurity on these products shouldn't get hacked because they're autonomous. At the same time, how are they intelligent? They're not just a flying body with a weapon, but how can they really coordinate much more sophisticated missions, much more sophisticated programs that can really help the user execute much more accurately and at speed. They have swarm capabilities, they have cross-communication capabilities, they have a lot of AI in them in this regard. That's where we're spending our time. They need to become much more intelligent so they can become precise. Yep. They can reduce collateral damage in that regard. They can deal with the situation on the fly and deal with different scenarios. So we're investing a lot on swarm platforms, we're investing a lot on intelligence platforms, and we're making them universal blocks. So I can put them on platform A, but very easily move them to platform B, C, and D.
Now, whilst I've talked about the military applications pretty significantly, many of these products can also be used in the civil industry, such as farming.
We're also taking these technologies and applying them in other civil areas through other organizations in the ecosystem in that regard. Maybe in the agriculture industry, where you need the drone to coordinate with the planting seed and that's the agility we have, which a normal defense contractor is unable to do, because they see the restrictive technologies, you can't really move it to civil area. Where we are saying is be very practical.
And let's see Lockheed do that. This video would have not been possible without the help from the Edge group, who partnered with Found and Explained to help create this video.
By allowing agile teams to each focus on their part, that's really allowing us to come to market much faster and come to market in a much more robust way. You see it in our loitering ammunition, you see it in our drones in that regard. And today in the drones, I think we are showing that we are a force to be reckoned with.
And if you're interested to see the whole interview with the Edge chairman, then I've put a link down in the description where you can go check it out. It actually is a truly fascinating interview, and there was plenty that I couldn't cover in this short video today. So do go check it out. Of course, it speaks volumes about the future of the defensive industry, recognizing new media such as YouTube and encouraging that startup, fast-paced atmosphere, not just for their products, for their media relations. So I'd like to say thank you very much and encourage you in the comments to go out and see the Edge range and watch this space, because I'm genuinely finding their products really quite incredible. Thank you again so much for watching.